Thank you, everybody. Good morning. So let's do our Gita prayer first. Om Pathai Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Swayam. Jyoti, just mute everybody for this other than me. Is a disturbance otherwise because it doesn't go at the same frequency. Okay. Time lag. So you all say it at your own pace. Okay, or just listen to me. So, but for the when I recite the shlokas, then a couple of people or 3-4 people who know how to sing, they can be unmuted. Let's start all over again. Om Bhagavaye Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advait Amrit Varshini Bhagavati Mashtadashadhyayani Amutvam Sandhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Namo Astu Te Vyas Vishal Buddhe Full Arvind Ayat Patra Netra Yena Tavya Bharat Tail Purnaha Prajwalito Gyan Maya Pradeepaha Parpan Pari Jataye Totra Petra Ekapanaye Gyan Mudraye Krishnaye Gita Amrit Duve Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopal Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhogata Dugdam Gita Amritam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrat Chala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalye Gravati Kripena Vahani Karnen Vela Ashavatham Vikarna Ghor Makra Duryodhan Avartani So Tirna Kalu Pandavai Ranadi Kavartaka Keshava Para Share Vatsarojamalam Gita Artha Nana Khyanak Kisaram Hari Katha Sambodhan Abodhitam Loke Sajjan Shatpadai Reh Reh Pepiye Manam Muda Bhuyad Bharat Vantam Kalimal Pansi Nashreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Girim Yat Kripat Maham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahm Varun Indra Rudra Marutaha Kunvanti Divyastave Vedai Svang Pad Kramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samasa Dhyana Vastri Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Na Vidusur Asurna Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Okay, we finished our class last week with the verse number 27, chapter number 10. And if you remember, the title of this chapter is Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti, the powers. Lord Krishna told Arjun that I am everywhere. That Arjun says, I believe that you are everywhere, but I would like to know some of those places where I can focus and I can see you. So we are in the middle of the many things which Lord Krishna is telling Arjun and through Arjun to us also, where we can focus and meditate on him. That is the purpose of this chapter. Okay, that God is one. There's no two gods, one God, but it can be seen in many different forms. Many different forms. Okay, so number 28. Ayudhanam aham vajram. Unmute couple of people, Jyoti. Because that way they'll repeat after me and the rest of the people you repeat in your own homes also.
Stroke number is 28.
28, yes. Okay. Let's start all over again. Ayudhanam aham vajram.
Ayudanam aham vajram.
Dhenunam asmi kamadhuk.
Dhenunam asmi kamadhuk.
Prajancha asmi kandarpaha.
Prajancha asmi kandarpaha.
Sarpanam asmi vasuki.
Sarpanam asmi vasuki.
Ayudhanam, among weapons. Aham, I, vajram, the thunderbolt. Okay. Dhenunam, among the cows. Again, asmi means I am. Kamadhuk, that is a kamadhenu, the desire fulfilling cow. Prajan, cha asmi kandarpaha. So prajan is the progenitor. Cha means and. Asmi, I am. Kandarpa, the Kamdev, the Lord of Love. Sarpanam, among the serpents. Again, Asmi means I am. Vasuki, that's the name of a serp, Vasuki. So among weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am a Kamdhenu, Kamdhuk. I am Kandarp, the cause for all creation, the offsprings. Among serpents, I am Vasuki. Okay. So Vajra, this Vajram, Vajra is an item in the divine artillery which can never be shattered. That's called a Vajra. There is a Vedic legend. It explains how a great seer, the Dichi, volunteered his own rib bones for the construction of a secret weapon to annihilate the Vritrasur, who was challenging to shatter the peace of the heavens. Okay, so Vajra is a thunderbolt. So Lord Krishna says, see me in that power in that, unshattering power in that weapon is me. Of cows, I am the Kamdhuk, this Kamdhenu, from which we can milk all the desires, whatever they be. And this was also one of the products which came from the churning of the ocean, the Kamdhenu. So he says, that's I am too. Because that cow can fulfill your desires with my power. Then the causes of offspring I am, and that is a Kandarp. Kandarp is also, in English it's called Cupid, the god of love. And it's an Indian concept, it's thought of as a mischievous boy, chubby, lively, carrying with himself the bow of smile, with 5 flower-tipped arrows. And each tip of that arrow meant to smother one sense organs. So of all the causes of the offsprings, the Lord Krishna is declaring, I am the Cupid. Total satisfaction of the physical, mental, intellectual sheaths in a man. Of the snakes, I am Vasuki. Vasuki is a serpent described as ever living on Lord Shiva's ring finger. As an adornment, just like we wear rings. So Lord Shiva wears a small snake, and the name of that snake is Vasuki. Even though it's so small, it can fit on Lord Shiva's finger, but it has the power. This Vasuki is the one who volunteered himself to serve as the rope in the churning process of the Milky Ocean. So it became so big, where the Devtas and Danavs, they could churn the ocean. So that's why it's The minutest of the minute and the greatest of the great, God is there. Generally, the term Sarp is a small snake. A single hooded snake is a Sarp. And in the next verse, we'll see the term Nag. Nag is a snake again, but with a multi-hoods. So multi-hooded snake is Nag, single hood snake is Sarp. So in this particular verse, Lord Krishna is saying, I am the Vasuki among the Sarps. Then in the next verse, he says, Anantaha cha asmi naganam.
Anantaha cha asmi naganam.
Varunaha yad sam aham.
Varuna yad sam aham.
Pitri nam aryama cha asmi.
Pitri nam aryama cha asmi.
Yam sanyam tam aham.
Yam sayam tam aham.
So now this Nag's name is Anant. So Anant is a name, Cha means and, Asmi I am, Naganam. So among the Nags, multi-hooded snakes, I am Anant. Varun Yad Sam. Varun is the name again, name of the Lord. Yad Sam, among water deities. So Lord of the ocean. Aham, I am. Pitri Nam, among the ancestors. Aryama cha asmi. I am Aryama. Yam, the Yamraj, Lord of Death. Sanyamatam, among the governors. I am. So if you wish to see me in these examples, that's how you can see. That's how you can meditate. I am Anant among Nags. I am Varun among water deities. I am Aryamaha among ancestors. And I am Yam among controllers. And who is this Anant now? If Vasuki is sitting on the ring finger of Lord Shiva, Anant Nag is 1,000-hooded Shesh Nag. It is the bed for Lord Vishnu. I'm sure you have seen pictures. That's called Anant. To recline, Lord Vishnu is reclined in his Yog Nidra, yogic sleep. So he is the mightiest and the most divine, and he is the very substratum upon which Vishnu, the sustainer, is seated. Water deities, I am Varun. In a Vedic conception, Varun is the spirit of governing of the waters. And water is the third element, third of the 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, these 3 we normally talk about. So water, okay. Then comes the air and the space. So Varun is the celestial god of ocean. Okay. So he says that I am. So he's the ruler of the oceans and the lord of all the waters. Of the Pitris, I am Aryama. I said Pitris means the ancestors, the departed ancestors. And who is the Aryama? Aryama is the third son of Aditi. You remember Aditi has had 12 Adityas. We've been talking about them in several verses before also. So Aryama is the third son of Aditi. So mother is Aditi. Who's the father? Rishi Kashyapa. So these are the, so, and Pitrilok is the world of the ancestors, world of the mains, sometimes some people call that. So Aryama is one who is the ruler of the world of the ancestors. So he says that I am. Of the controllers, I am Yam. And Yam is the Lord of Death, chief messenger of the annihilator. Okay? So whether we like it or not, the principle of death is the governing factor that controls and regulates life. At every moment, it prepares us in the progressive field for the creative development everywhere. So in other words, annihilation is part of the creation. Because in the Vedic concept, the life is viewed in its totality. Where there's an importance to the birth or the principle of birth, the equal importance to the principle of death also. So, and we can all see that. So he says, I am the Yam among the annihilators, the Lord of Death. Next one, number 30. Prahlad cha asmi daitya naam.
Prahlad cha asmi daityanam.
Kalaha kalyatam aham.
Kalaha kalyatam aham.
Mriganam cha mrigendraha.
Mruganam cha mrugendraha.
Aham venetya cha pakshinam.
Aham venetya cha pakshinam.
Prahlad. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this name, Prahlad. He was the son of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad. Cha means and, Asmi I am, Daityanam, among the Daityas, the demons. Kal, time, Kalyatam, of all that controls. Aham, I am. Mriga Nam, among the animals. Mrigendra, the lord of the animals. Lion, Mrigendra. Aham, I am, Venteya, that is Garud, the son of Vinat. Pakshinam, among the birds. I am Prahlad among the Daityas, the demons. Among all that controls, I am the time. I am the lion, the lord of beasts among the animals. And I am Garuda among the birds. So you have heard about Prahlad several times in these classes. Even though the father did not believe, he said, I'm superior than God also, Lord Vishnu. But the son was a devout, had so much faith in Lord Vishnu, Narayan, the God. He said, it's everywhere. You're not bigger than God. And the father could not bear that. Father tried to kill Prahlad. But we know that ultimately the God came in the form of Narsingh avatar and killed Hiranyakashipu. So he says, I am Prahlad. Prahlad, even though he was born in a family of demons, the Daityas, but he had a devotion for God. He had all the good qualities because as a young boy, when the father was killed, then he became the ruler of that country. And he was a very just, powerful, nice ruler, the way the rulers should be, taking care of the kingdom. So he says, I am Prahlad among the demons. And time, I am time among all that, whatever controls. Time is the great subduer that wears down even the biggest and the mightiest entities of the universe. Time, Kal. He says, that I am. And then lion, we know that. King of the animal, ever since we were little, we heard a lot of stories about that. And the Garud. Who is a Garud? He is a vehicle for Lord Vishnu. Very fast, very powerful. He says, I am that. Okay. can climb everywhere. So king of all the birds, Garuda. Number 31. Pavanaha pavatam asmi.
Pavanaha pavatam asmi.
Ramaha shastra bhritam aham.
Ramaha shastra bhritam aham.
Yashanam makraha cha asmi.
Jashanam makarashcha asmi.
Srotasam asmi jahanvi.
Srotasam asmi jahanvi.
Pavana. Pavan is the wind, the air. Pavatam, among purifiers. Of all that purifies, Asmi I am. Ram, you're all familiar with this term, Ram. Shastrubitam, the carrier of the weapons. Aham I. Yashanam Makaracha Asmi. Among the fishes, I am the shark. Some people say Makar is a shark, some people say crocodile. So it's like a big fish, big water creature. Cha means and, Asmi I am. Srot Sam, among the rivers. Jahanvi, the Ganges, the Ganga. Jahanvi. Among the purifiers, I am the wind. Among warriors, I am Ram. Among fishes, I am the shark. Among rivers, I am Ganga. So of all the cleansing things, he says, I am wind. We all know that no sanitary equipment is so efficient to clean a place as the air. That's why we say, air it out. Anything which doesn't smell good, we just put it outside. And it starts with the help of the air and the wind, it smells good. Okay? So, in nature also, wind performs the work of purification very efficiently. It converts impure water into water vapor. It carries away the dirty smells of the earth. It makes a fire burn by fueling it with oxygen. And that's why it says in the nature also, air is the greatest purifier. Air. So Lord Krishna says that I am. So powerful. Then he says, among all the people who carry the weapons, the warriors, see, warrior is the one who carry the weapon, any kind of a weapon. I am Ram. Why? Ram utilized his weapons only for the good of others, not for his selfish reasons, to protect others. He is considered a perfect man in all aspects of his life. A perfect son, perfect husband, a perfect brother, perfect friend. As a fighter, also perfect. As a teacher, he is a perfect. As a ruler, and even as a father. So that's why he said, Ram, I am. And otherwise also Lord Krishna is the incarnation of God and Ram is also incarnation of God. There's no difference between these two. Of the fishes, I am the shark. And you know why he's saying that? It's the biggest and the mightiest also. And as the rivers, Jahnavi. Jahnavi. Okay? There was a Rishi, Jahnu. And Ganges is called Jahnavi. Why? Because Rishi Jahnu, what he did, whatever he learned from his guru, he just gave it away. It's just like a pouring out of him all the time. And what does Ganges do? Just pure water, purification, the atmosphere pure. It's just like a gives. So Jano. So among the rivers, I am Ganges. Sarganam Adi Antacha.
Sarganam Adi Antacha.
Madhyam cha eva aham Arjuna.
Madhyam cha eva aham Arjun.
Adhyatma Vidya Vidya Nama.
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam.
Vadaha Pravadatam Aham.
Vadaha Pravadatam Aham.
Sarganam among the creations. Adi is the beginning, Antah the end, Cha means end. Madhyam the middle, Cha means end, Ev also, Aham I, and Arjuna, that's the name of this warrior. Adhyatma Vidya, the science of self, which is called spirituality, Adhyatma Vidya. Vidya Nam, among the sciences, Vadaha, logical conclusion, Vad. Pravatam, among the debates. So of all the debates, he says, Aham, I am the logical conclusion, Vad. So among creations, I am the beginning, the middle, and also the end. O Arjun, among sciences, I am the science of self, and I am the logic of all arguments. So the process of creation, maintenance, and dissolution, that is the Adi, Ant, and Madhyam. That's all I am. And over there, the Sarg, all that created is what? Whenever we see manifested world, how is it manifested? With the help of the space, air, fire, water, and earth. All those five are called Sarg also. Earlier in the verses, he talked about the living beings. Now he's talking about all these elements also. So even in these elements, in the beginning also, I am, in the middle also, and in the end also. So he is the essential stuff in all individual beings. And over here in this verse, very universal statement, he is indicating that he is the essence of all creation itself also. So Sarganam Adi Anta cha Madhyam cha Eva Aham Arjuna. Okay, so the material cause is an unavoidable essence in all names and forms, and nothing can be separate from it. So he says, I am that material cause also. I was, I am, I will be. That is the Adi, Madhyam, and Anta. So all the names and forms, they have risen up from him. They are sported by him and shall be merged back into him also. Because sometimes we think that Atma is part of God and it will go back to God. Sure, that is true. But even this body also, not just the body alone, even this basic essential bhoots also, Panchabhoot which is called, they are also part of God. So the material cause is God and the efficient cause is God too. There's nothing but God. So he says, you can just focus on any one of them and merge with me. Of all the knowledges, I'm the knowledge of the self. What is a vidya? See, that is a Sanskrit term over here, vidya. Vidya is the education that a person acquires in relation to subjects of the knowledge. That's a vidya. That's a definition of a vidya. The scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, they talk about 18 types of vidya. 14 are prominent. It's called Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarna, Nirukti, Jyotish, Chand, then Rig, Yajur, Sam, Atharva. These are the 4 branches of the Vedic knowledge. So this is all Vidya, but he says among all this, I am the Adhyatma Vidya, the spirituality. Rest are just the means. Don't make those an end. Use the means for the means to attain the end, which is spirituality, the science of the self. So practice of these Vidyas cultivate the intellect, deepens the knowledge, and increases awareness of the path of Dharma. And ultimately, the science of spirituality liberates human beings from bondage. That is the goal of this Vidya. If with the help of the Vidya, we become more bondage, then we have not attained what we were supposed to attain. So the science of spirituality should liberate us, not to create more bondage on us. Even in Bhagavad Puran, and if you don't know, every Monday morning, we study Bhagavad Puran. That is another scripture. Bhagavad Puran, Rishi Vyasa says, Adhyatam Vidya is superior to the previously mentioned Vidyas. Sa Vidya Tanmetriyam. That means the best knowledge is that by which the intellect becomes attached to the lotus feet of Lord. So that science which increases the devotion in us for Lord in any form, doesn't matter the form, any name, but the lotus feet. Lotus, why do they say lotus feet? It brings the humility in us. It's a surrenderness in us. Okay, so of all the knowledges, I am the knowledge of the self. So science that explains that knowledge principle, without which no other knowledge is possible. Okay? Without the soul, the energy of the soul, the mind and the intellect, they can't even function. The body cannot function. So that is the source of it. Of arguments, I am Vad. The term Pravdatam, just understand that first as various forms of arguments. Various forms. The scriptures talk about arrogantly when we have a debate, that is called a jalapa. Jalpa. Okay. I mean, there is a debate, but in the debate, we are trying to put the other person down. That's a jalap. And then there is a vitand. Vitand is a destructive criticism. Our idea is in that discussion, in a debate, not to come up with some conclusion, but we want to destroy the other person. Whatever the means there are. And we see that that happens. That happens in a personal relationships also. That happens between the politicians also. Sometimes that happens in the religious leaders also. Just trying to put the other person down with whatever argument. That's called a vitand. So jalap, vitand. But when you are debating logically and you want to arrive to the truth, that is called vad. So that's why Lord Krishna says, of all arguments, I am vad. Okay. So in the jalap, attempt is to smother the opposition, criticizing bitterly. And Vedant is vitand, that is mercilessly criticizing the arguments of the opposition, exposing the other person by means of fear or foul. both the real and the fallacies. But the third one, the technique of discussion, where you're arguing and trying to reach to some conclusion, bring the truth out. Okay? So the ultimate real conquest is only through Vad. Aksharanam akaraha asmi.
Aksharanam akaraha asmi.
Dvandaha samasi kasya cha.
Dvanda samasi kasya cha.
Aham eva akshaya kala.
Aham eva akshaya kala.
Dhata aham vishvato mukham.
Dhata aham vishvato mukham.
Aksharanam, among all letters of the alphabet. Akara, the letter A. Asmi, I am. Dvandaha, the dual. Samasikasya, among all the compounds. Samasikasya. So in the Sanskrit grammar, there is a way to put two words together. That's called like a compounding the word. Cha means and, aham I, ev means verily, akshaya, everlasting, endless, akshaya, kalaha, time, dhata, the dispenser, vishvato mukham, all faced or having faces in all directions. Vishvato mukham, that is considered Lord Brahma. Okay, face everywhere. So among letters, I am the letter A. So in the alphabet, I am the letter A. And in Sanskrit, Devanagari, it's A. So that is Akara. A. Among all compounds and the dual, like a coordinates, I am verily, I am a Dvant, the dual. So I am the dual among all the coordinates. I am the inexhaustible or the everlasting time. I am all-faced dispenser. Dispenser means dispenser of the fruits of all actions, which have faces in all the directions. So first look at of the alphabet, I am A. In Sanskrit, there's a small letter and there's a big letter. There's a and there's a also. So he's talking about the small sound of There's no word complete without that. So that's why he says of all the alphabets, I am the A. Otherwise also that is one of the vowels. And without the help of the vowels, words cannot be pronounced. Of all the languages, vowels are so important. But in Sanskrit particularly, it sounds very sweet because of this sound in it. Okay, so is added to it to lengthen the full sweetness of the word. This it's like a smooth run of sound. It's almost like a melody even between the words and a lingering echo between the sentences. So he says that I am. So first place among the alphabets in all languages. That's why I said in English, if you don't know Sanskrit, A. That's why we say A, B, C, D. Alphabet starts with A. In the Upanishads, they declare, the rishis declare, that A sound is the essence in all speech. Akara ve sarvavak. So this sound, you cannot utter any sentence without a sound. So Lord Krishna said, of all the alphabets, I am the A. Of all the compound words, I am the pair. So Dvand, So Sanskrit forms of compound, there are many different ways to combine two words, but dvand is that's a method of combining words, very important, because it's like a direct coordination of its components. You can still see both words in that compound. And if you ever get a chance to study what are the other ways to do the compounding of the words, there is a karmdharya, tat purush, dvigu, avyay bhav, and bahu brihi. These are like a different ways to combine, but dvand is the easiest also, clearer also. And once the dvand compound is in front of you, you can still see the both parts. So he says that I am dvand. Okay, so it's almost like a Ram and Krishna, or Ram and Lakshman, just putting them together. Ram Lakshman, you just say it in one breath. That is a dvand. And then he says, I alone am the infinite time. So in the absolute concept also, and in the finite experiences of each moment also. So there's a relative time, and then there's a absolute time. He says, I am the time. There's no question about it. And then I am the sustainer. The self is the sustainer of mental impressions. That is a very particular trait in a given individual, which determines how he will react to the world outside. He says, I am that too. And then last one, he says, facing all quarters at once, Brahma. That is I am too. Because these powers of God, whether it's a creative power or a sustaining power or a annihilation power, that all powers of God. Says I am that. Continuation of his vibhutis in next verse. Mrityu sarv hara cha aham.
Mrityu sarva hara cha aham.
Udbhav cha bhavishyatam.
Udbhav cha bhavishyatam.
Kirti shri vak cha narinam.
Kirti shri vak cha narinam.
Samriti medha dhriti kshama.
Smritir medha dhriti kshama.
Mrityu, death. Sarv hara, all devouring. See, sarv means all, har means devouring, all devouring. Cha means and, aham means I. Udbhav, the prosperity, or the origin. Cha means and, bhavishyatam, those things that are yet to be, of those who are to be prosperous. Bhavishyatam, like in the future. Kirti is fame, Shri means prosperity, Vak means speech, Nari Nam of the feminine qualities. Samriti, the memory, Medha, intelligence, Dhriti, firmness, Kshama, forgiveness. And I am the devouring death, all devouring death. And I am the origin of those things that are yet to be created. I am the prosperity of those who are to be prosperous. Among the feminine qualities, I am fame, prosperity, speech, memory, intelligence, firmness, and forgiveness. In Sanskrit language, there was a gender given to everything. Masculine or feminine or a neutral. So among the feminine qualities, he says, I am these. That doesn't mean that a male cannot have these qualities, but these qualities are considered feminine qualities. Okay, so death we have already talked about quite a bit. I am all the consuming death. We know that after death, the wise and the fool, the good and the bad, the strong and the weak, the ruler and the ruled, all come to dust, leveled into the uniformity. Because what is the death? Death is for the form. The form goes into the dust. The formless is gone, according to the karmas. So that's why he says, all devouring death. And then he says, I am the source of all that is to be. Even in future, whatever needs to be, I am the source. Okay, and Udbhav. Udbhav is a literal meaning is prosperity, but philosophers, they say that also means the source of all. And now these 8 qualities: fame, fortune, speech, perfect speech. Speech means perfect, good speech. Memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. He says, I am. If you look at it, these are the virtues we need to cultivate. The first 3 are outside qualities: fame, fortune, and speech. Outside. Memory, intelligence, steadfast, and patience. These 4, they are inside, more internal. So qualities need to be external also. We need to cultivate, and internal also. Okay. So it's like these abstract nouns are all feminine in gender. But the Puranas, they talk about these based upon the certain people in the history also, through the stories. They say Prajapati Daksha had 24 daughters. 5 of these were considered the best of the women, and their names were Kirti, Samriti, Medha, Dhriti, Kshama. So even when we look at these females, well-known females, they had these qualities too. And when we look up to those people, we want to cultivate those qualities also. They become like our role models. Shri was the daughter of sage Bhrigu. Vak was the daughter of Brahma. So these 7 women are the presiding deities of these 7 qualities mentioned in this verse. Okay, so there's a historical element to it, then there's a philosophical element to this also. But these are the qualities we need to cultivate, all of us, if we want to evolve. So I'm going to do one more and then we'll stop, because I'll give you some time to ask some questions if something is not clear. And at the end, we'll have about 4 minutes of chanting, because these classes we are going to end either with meditation or with the chanting. And with the chanting, when we do the chanting, you can chant with it because you're all muted. So with orally also, you can say it loudly, or you can mentally, you can do it, or you can meditate with it. And today's chant is, since we are talking about Lord Krishna, it's about Lord Krishna. Okay, the names are familiar to you, Vasudev. So there are some questions also. So on the other hand, let's just finish it here with 34. So we'll start with 35. But if you have any question, please do ask. So we'll take about 5 questions if there are. And then rest of the questions after the chanting also, I'll be on and I can answer your questions too. Okay. So who has a question? And if
right now we have Sujata. Right now we have Sujata.
Okay, Sujata.
Why Kirti is desire? I mean, why should you want fame?
See, you don't want fame. You don't want, it's not your desire, but a good person, is well known, others can have inspiration from that person. Okay?
Okay.
Because right now when we talk about Lord Krishna, he was famous, he is famous, and we get inspired by that quality. Instead of talking about something who has a negative attribute, so famous with the good qualities. Okay? It's not a famous because I want to be famous, but famous like a well-known with the good qualities so that others get inspired. Because we all need role models. We need some kind of a ideal in our life also. So famous, fame in that sense. Okay. Otherwise, there will be only the people will talk about the arrogance, the bad qualities, but the goodness in a person. Okay.
And could you redefine Vidya?
Vidya was the knowledge. Vidya is knowledge. Vidya or the education that a person acquires in relation to subject of knowledge. Okay. So that's why physics is also a Vidya. Geography is also a Vidya. Right? History is a Vidya. Math is a Vidya. They're all Vidyas. They're all knowledges. But among all the knowledges, he says, I am the self-knowledge. The knowledge about the soul. Okay. So does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Also, Hersh, could you just repeat those 7 virtues again? For the...
Yeah, 7 virtues are in this verse number 34. Fame, the kirti. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Prosperity, good speech, memory, intelligence, firmness, and forgiveness. Okay.
Harsh, I have a question. Can you please give the name of those vidyas again? You said shiksha and something like that.
Shiksha, kalp, nirukti, jyotish, chand, then rig, yajur, sam, atharva.
Can you please repeat again?
Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharvaved.
Okay, वो सारे वेद.
And then Mimamsa, Nyay, Dharmashastra, Purans. These are all Vidyas.
Okay, they're different kinds. Okay.
Could you put it up on the website, because there's a lot of them and I'm not.
Okay, all right, we'll do that.
Right, with the meaning, you know.
I will send you that, Sujata.
Thank you.
Why don't you put it? Yeah, I would like to know that too.
Sure. Okay, Nirja, you have a question?
No, Hershi, ये मेरे को भी भेज दे, ज्योति को कह रही.
Sure. Jyoti, send it to everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, send it to us so that will be easy.
Yeah, I like that you are all enthusiastic.
Thank you.
To learn. That's good. Let me tell you, every teacher wants students like you. I am fortunate to have you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody else question?
I have a question. Pankaj.
Name, please.
Pankaj.
Pankaj, okay. All right. Pankaj, I cannot see your face today for some reason.
Yeah, well, I'll put it up.
Okay, all right.
Difference between Gyan and Vidya.
Yeah. See, Gyan, when we use the word Gyan, that's the knowledge. When we say Vidya of that particular Gyan.
Oh.
Okay. So Gyan of this nature, the Prakriti, through certain Vidya. See, like Nyaya Shastra also, they talk about the nature, the Prakriti. So with their logical jnana, there's a Nyaya Vidya. But then there's a Sankhya Vidya. Okay, so Vidya is those different categories. Those are the subjects.
Okay, so Gyan is general.
Gyan is general, the knowledge. It could be a knowledge of math or it could be a knowledge of science. Okay, so that's what it is. So Vidyas, they say there's so many Vidyas according to our Vedic way of explaining it. Okay, and again that knowledge is the knowledge of God, right? So he says that I am the self-knowledge of all the knowledges. I am the. That doesn't mean that rest of the knowledges are not important. The rest of the knowledges are the means, but ultimately the goal is the self-knowledge, the spirituality, and he says that I am. Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, Hershey, this is Raj.
Yes, Raj.
I missed, who was Kirti's father? You were giving names of the fathers for all the qualities.
Yeah. See, Kirti was, see, those were the 5 sisters and their father was a Prajapati Daksha.
Okay, thank you.
You remember the first 5, Kirti, Samriti, Medha, Dhriti, Kshama? Those were the names of those 5 daughters. Out of 24 daughters. So 5 jo thi.
हर्षी प्रजापति दक्ष की ही बेटी थी पार्वती.
Hanji. Not as a Parvati, she was as a Sati. Okay. Yeah. So Sati became Uma, Uma became Parvati. So different lifespans. Yeah. And you remember that's why one time I told you that story about the skulls in Lord Shiva's neck.
Yes, yes.
You all know that, right?
Yeah.
The skulls of Parvati in different.
Yeah, skulls of a different incarnation of Parvati.
Incarnations. Yeah.
Because you remember, I don't know how many of you know this story, but just quickly let me remind you. The Guru Brihaspati, he wanted to know. He didn't know. He wanted to know. So he just went to Parvati. He said, do you know that your husband has these skulls of these women in the neck? Who are these women? She said, I really don't know. First, she just disregarded that kind of a question and a comment. But then when he probed, so a little jealousy came in her mind and she went to Lord Shiva. She said, who are these? He said that doesn't matter, it's okay. But the female nature, she just insisted, I would like to know. These are the skulls close to your heart and you are wearing them all the time. So then he told her, these are skulls of your past incarnations. I am so much in love with you that I cannot separate this from my body. Then she said, how come you keep on living for so long and I let go of my body? Then he said, because I know the Amar Katha and you don't. She said, I would like to know that Amar Katha too, so that I am eternal too. I don't let go of my body after every few years. So then Lord Shiva gave that Amar Katha in the cave. You remember that story? Amar Katha. I'm sure you all know about the Amar Katha. So, okay. So Parvati was Uma before. Before that it was a Sati. So at Sati, she was a Daksha's daughter. Okay. So these are the beautiful stories. Some of us say that, hey, these are just the stories, but some people get fascinated by it. And in any class, I find some people really love it. Others, they don't need it. It's okay, as long as we are growing. So let's go through. Any more questions?
This is Prem.
Oh,
So
Prem, okay.
if, namaste, please.
Namaste.
If Lord Shiva loved her so much, why did he not give her the Amar Katha during the first time? Why did he let her go?
Well, we got to be a seeker of that also.
Ah.
Right? We love our children a lot. But that doesn't mean that they get everything from us. They got to be deserving of that too. Right? We get what we deserve.
I see.
Not what we desire.
So
but
Hersh
would be his own desire though.
Huh?
Because he loved her so much, this would be his own desire, not necessarily.
His desire loving, yes. He loved her, that's it.
Well, he was getting the younger form of her back again.
Well, okay.
He let nature, consciousness take its course.
Yeah. See, God's Leela, only God knows. Because from these Leelas, these plays of God, we learn a lot too.
Yeah.
So
Krishna came on this earth, and from his Leelas, we are learning all this too.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to come.
Yeah.
But God just plays all these Leelas so that we can grow also with the help of
Hershji, the latest form you have of Parvati hai.
Parvati, yes.
Parvati ji last.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Kim has a question. Hersh.
Yes, Kim.
Before we start the chanting.
Thank you. I'm just confused why Lord Shiva is so attached to the woman. Because
it's not a woman. It's not a gender.
No, I mean, why is he so attached to somebody?
It is other part of him. It's like a Lord Krishna. The other part of Lord Krishna is Radha. Krishna is not complete without Radha. Shiva is not complete without Parvati. They just complete each other. Okay? So it's not a love the way we look at love. It's a love in the highest level where they feel complete with that. It's just a part of them. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay. We can talk more about it, Kim, later on. Okay? So anybody else? No? Okay, thank you very much. So let's start the chanting. You can meditate with it or you can chant with it. And after that, if you have any more questions, if you want to discuss something, I'm here. Okay? But before chanting, let's do the Shanti part though. So after the Shanti part, Mani, you can start the chanting. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Om
Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari Se Nath Narayana Vasudeva Tu hi hai Mata Tu hi Pita Re Data bhi Tu hai Tu hi Sakha Re He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari Se Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari Se Nath Narayana Vasudeva. जब भी तुझको पुकारे उसकी ओर तू दौड़ा चला रे एक भक्त जब भी तुझको पुकारे उसकी ओर तू दौड़ा चला रे मन की पीड़ा दूर भगाए अपनी वाणी से आस जगाए हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा साथ तो उसके जो ले तेरा नाम रे नाम में तू और तू ही हरि राम रे साथ तो उसके जो ले तेरा नाम रे नाम में तू और तू ही हरि राम रे हरि ही हरे सब कष्ट हमारे हरि की कृपा से काज सवारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा तू ही है माता तू ही पिता रे दाता भी तू है तू ही सखा रे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे
Thank you very much. So